Hope I'm audible to everyone. So we'll try to implement the fifth experiment. That is K means K nearest neighbor algorithm. That is K means also called it as KNN algorithm also it is called as. We'll try to see what is the basic concept and then we'll try to implement the code. I'm sharing screen. Just a minute. Hope screen is visible to you. Just check it out. And I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the experiment number 5 is KNN algorithm, K nearest neighbor algorithm. It is also called it as K means algorithm. This is a unsupervised algorithm. So K means or KNN algorithm is an unsupervised learning algorithm. Already we have seen this. That's why I'm taking because this is recently we have seen what is supervised learning, what is unsupervised learning, what is reinforcement learning, and what is semi-supervised learning. So in supervised learning, what happens? Along with the training set, we do have the target variables also given. So we do have some information, we do have some hints. So such kind of algorithm is called as a supervised learning algorithm. In unsupervised learning algorithm, such target variables are not given and we have to find it. So based on the training set, we'll learn that how all those things are implemented, how in training set, how the KNN is represented, that is a knowledge represented. And we learn from that. So here no target variables are available. So here if any labels are there, classifications are there, such things are not available. But yeah, we can learn that how it is done, how those are classified, how those are clustered, and we can learn and we can again test set, we can test them and we can allocate them a particular cluster. If successfully correctly we allocate the cluster, then it is a accuracy of the algorithm. If not, then again we'll repeat the procedure. So that is the steps. So unless and until we allocate a new sample its proper cluster, we will do it again and again. So we'll train, we'll go for training, and then we'll test. We'll train, we'll test, and we will try to implement or try to improve the accuracy. So this is what is a unsupervised learning algorithm. And KNN or K means is one of the unsupervised learning algorithm. We have a data set of items which are given and which can contain certain features and values for the available or given features. So we have data set of items and which includes with certain features. Those features can be anything and those features are represented using the values. What K-means or KNN algorithm will do, this algorithm will categorize the items, whatever data set items are given into K groups. K means number of. So such groups or clusters which have a similarity. We have seen last time how the clustering is done. Hope those who are present for last lecture, they know clustering. We have shown 3-4 clusters and how based on the close distances, they have clustered together based on the similarity. So such based on the similarity will define the clusters and will categorize all these items that whether which item belongs to which cluster. This is the job of this algorithm. Now to how to calculate the similarity then? we can calculate the similarity based on some 4-5 formulas available. And those formulas are nothing but we can use the Euclidean distance. So finding a Euclidean distance is one of the formula which we can use so that we can find the similarity between the two data set items. And if they are very much similar, then we can group them into a one single cluster. Now data items cannot fit in single cluster. There can be many clusters. As we know, we human beings are no similarity between us, but some common features are there, right? But if we see every human being is different, so we cannot put all those into a simple single cluster. स्वभाव माणसाचा बघितला तर आपण त्या स्वभावात सुद्धा कितीतरी वेगवेगळेपणा आहे. एका स्वभावात सगळे बसत नाहीत. So such all data set items we cannot group together in a single cluster. Then can be different clusters. So we'll use one of the formula, that is Euclidean distance, and based on the similarity we can group data set items in a single cluster. Another formula is there available, Manhattan distance, which we can use to calculate the similarity between data set items. Third one is a Hamming distance. So all these names are given by the authors or the people who have identified those formulas, distances. Euclidean distance, Manhattan distance, Hamming distance, and there is cosine distance. So these are the four available for different types of formulas, or we can say concepts. And we can use these one of the concept to find the similarity. Once we know the similarity between the two data set items, then we can group them in a single cluster. And K means, or KNN algorithm find out how many such clusters are available based on the given data set items. We will train and will test on the new data set items and will find if similarity is there, then allocate the cluster. So this is what is the introduction of the algorithm, how it works. We'll go for steps. So this is the kind of algorithm, we can say pseudocode for implementing the KNN algorithm. So first input. So input have a k number of clusters and list of data points. Those are called as a D. So there can be D list of data points and there can be k number of clusters. This k can be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number of n up to n. No problem. So first step, K-means algorithm. This is the footprint, you can say, blueprint of algorithm, steps of algorithm, or exactly how it is going to work. So first step, choose k number of random data points as the initial centroids. Centroids means cluster centers. So choose k number of random data points as initial center. So we'll choose random data point and we'll allocate it as initial centroid or initial center. And then we'll check whether this is acting as a center or not. If no, then center will get shifted and we'll try to find out exact center of the particular cluster, right? This is what is the first step. But previously we don't know what is the center of the cluster. So we'll allocate any random variable and then we'll check. And if it is not center, definitely we will automatically, we will be forced to change. And once we change such a way, we'll keep on repeating and then we'll allocate a correct centroid. Now, what is that repetition steps are given as a step 2. So repeat till cluster center stabilize. Stabilize means we'll find the original center. Now, suppose out of your 60 students, I don't know who's a rank 1 student. We'll allocate random any student and he will be a topper of the class. Then we'll check based on his knowledge, his percentage last semester and all the stuff. If he is the correct one, definitely he will be true to every test. If he is not, definitely he will fail. Then we identify, yeah, he is not a person of topper of the class. Then we'll check another one. Such a process will repeat unless and until we find. So this repetition will be continue unless we find correct topper of the class. Same concept is implemented here. So we'll initialize first a center of entire cluster, random number, and it will check. When we repeat the process, what we do? So we allocate each point in D data points to the nearest k centroid. So k we have assigned as a center previously. We'll allocate next D point whether it is close to that k by using the formulas, either Euclidean, Hamming, then other one, right? 4 out of 4 available. We'll try to find out whether they are close to that k which is we have assigned. If not, we'll change the k. Compute, second step, compute centroid for the cluster using all points in the cluster. So we'll use all points which are part of that cluster, and we'll try to take one and one and one, and we'll try to compute the centroid, that is center. Definitely we are going to find the center. Once we know the center, we know the what is the cluster overall, and then based on the similarity, we find whether D is belong to that cluster or another cluster. So this is what is the algorithm steps. Any doubt up to this? Very simple process. First, choose any k number, any random data point as a center. Then allocate each point D in the nearest k center. Find out the using formula distance. If it is close, definitely it will be the part of the cluster. Then such a way we'll check for each and every data set. Some will be very close, some will be very far. Those who are close will club them together in the single cluster, and then we'll try to find out the center. Automatically, each cluster center we can find, and we can allocate where the cluster boundaries are. So this was the introduction and algorithm steps. We'll see also the flow chart. So we'll start. So we'll assign number of cluster k. So find out how many clusters we can have. Then find out the centroid of each cluster. Then find the distance of objects to the centroid, which we have assigned. Then group based on the minimum distance. If distance is very much, then we'll check whether the object is moving to another group. If yes, then we'll end. If no, then again we'll check. We'll find out the centroid. We'll check the distance of objects to the centroid, grouping based on the minimum distance. This process is repeated unless and until whether that object will move or it will not change the values. So this is the flowchart of the algorithm. You can take screenshot of this, no problem, so that you can remember the things. At start, we assign how many clusters will be there. Suppose those are k. Always k, we start with the minimum 1. Then find the centroid of that cluster k. Then we check with all objects. It means data sets with the centroid whether they are matching with by calculating the distance. If the similarity is more, then based on that, how those are grouped in the training set, based on that we'll group them in. There are chances that one data set which is not closer to the centroid which we have assigned, its distance is very high, so it will go to another cluster, another k. We'll repeat this process unless and until we find the particular data object in a particular proper cluster. So we'll take example. The program which we are implementing, that's the data set we will be taking as an example. So KNN classifier. So in our example, we do have 3 parts are available: sepal length, sepal width, and species. So sepal length is one of the feature. Sepal width is one of the feature of the data sets. Already we have seen, na? We have given data set of items with certain features and values for these features. Algorithm will categorize items into k groups or clusters of similarity. So we do have this data set item, and we do have features. There are 3 features we do have right now. One is a sepal length, one is a sepal width, and for each feature the values are given. So these are the data sets. So there are 15 data sets which are given. I think think here we can show 14, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Fifth one is also there. As this figure I am editing, it is not fitting, that's why not taken. Next slide you can have that. So here we can. So last 5.5, 2.4 versicolor. So these are the features and along with the values, and species is one of the feature where we do have a 3 Ks. So groups. So Setosa is one group, Virginica is a second group, and versicolor is a third group. So these are the 3 species available, right? Hope you can see the data set. Slides are visible. Am I audible to everyone? Just reply. I'm not able to read your chats. You, by unmuting, you can tell me. Everyone can tell me whether the slides are visible to you. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
4, 5. 5 voices I have heard.
Yes, sir.
6. Almost
Yes,
30.
sir.
7. Only 7 people are attending. I want everybody should unmute and tell me whether the slides are available, visible, and my voice is
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
9, 10, 11, 12,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
13, 14,
Yes, sir.
15,
Yes, sir.
16. Still 14 people are there. I'm waiting. Guys, reply.
Yes, sir.
I want whether 17. I want to know whether you are listening properly. If you are listening properly, very easy concept. Once you understood, definitely you can write a code.
Yes.
18 voices I have heard. Anybody is there to reply? Hope all of
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
19, 20, 21, 20, I think. Okay. Pay attention, please, everyone. Just do not just get into as attendance purpose. Just do not join and sit calm. Listen, and if you can see the figures very well, proper slides, it will be very easy. So we started with the steps. What is K-means algorithm? It have data set with certain features and values for that, and algorithm will categorize each data item into a proper K group of clusters. Already it is given inside that, but one of the feature we have to identify if one data set is belong to the Setosa category, then why it is so. So we'll learn that, and if new set is coming, then we'll try to find out whether that proper Setosa feature is correctly grouped together or not. So we'll try to find out this thing using this algorithm. An algorithm says that calculate the similarity, and you can use the one of the formula: Euclidean distance, Manhattan distance, Hamming distance, and cosine. The algorithm first randomly choose the center of the cluster, that is called as the centroid, and each data point will be checked by calculating the distance whether it is near to the center or not. If not, then it will definitely belong to the another cluster. If yes, then it is belonging to the same cluster, and correctly whether the centroids are allocated or not. That is what we are going to check in the K-means algorithm cluster. The algorithm is already explained by data flow, and these are the examples. Currently there are 14, but there are 15 data items which we have taken, and there are 3 features which are given for the data set given. This is the training data set, we can say, and along with testing data set. So sepal length is one of the feature, sepal width is one of the feature, and species. So there are 3 types of species are given right now out of 15. So Setosa is there, one species, Virginica is one species, and versicolor is a third species. So sepal length 5.3, sepal width 3.7 belongs to Setosa. 5.1, 3.8 also belongs to Setosa. So we are going to learn why Setosa is like this. And if such values come, such data set come which is close to these figures, then we can allocate that it is belonging to the Setosa. Then we'll see Virginica, 7.2, 3.0, 7.4, 2.8, 5.8, 2.8, 7.3, 2.9, right? So such figures are coming data set, then we'll identify this belongs to Virginica or versicolor. So such a way we are going to do. So this is our training data set or data set. Already I will upload the fifth experiment data set on the Moodle. So you can use it for program, which I have used. Similar thing I will upload CSV file, comma separated value file. Okay. So once again, I'll tell that this is the example data set which have three features: sepal length, sepal width, and spaces along with the values. So all these are along the values, some numerical values, some text values. So first step. So we'll learn and we'll get a new data, that is a D item, and we'll check the new data item along with the previously given based on the training. We'll calculate the distance and we'll check how much that distance comes, right? So can you see this slide? KNN classifier solved example 1. Step 1, find distance. We are going to find the distance. We are using Euclidean distance formula. Can you see? So here you can see 15 data sets. Starting with 5.3, that is the 1. Serial number are not given. Up to 5.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Can you read it? Reply fast. Okay. So below that, one more column is one row is there. Sepal length, sepal width, and spaces question mark. So this is a new data set. So sepal length is 5.2, sepal width is 3.1. So we have to correctly allocate this. And to do that, we'll find out the distance between this new and previous one. Previous one means 5.3, 3.7, and setosa. This is the first one. So new one will check with along with this first one, and continuously we'll go ahead. Then 5.1 with 5.3, then 7.2 with 5.1, like this, and we'll check the distances, and that we can give as a fourth column. So finding the distance. To find a distance, we are using a formula, that is Euclidean distance formula. So distance, sepal length, sepal width is equal to root in bracket x minus a square. So x minus a bracket square plus y minus b bracket square. So what is this x? What is this a, y, b? These we have to find. Now new data set is given. Sepal length, sepal width, that is 5.2, 3.1. So your sepal length 5.2 acts as a x value, and sepal width 3.1 acts as a y value. And your first record in the data set 5.3, 3.7 setosa, top of the first left side table, that acts as a 5.3 sepal length value as a and 3.7 sepal width value as a b. Are you clear? Anybody have any doubt? How we allocated, how x and a values, y and b values we have taken? Once again I'll revise. Can you see this slide properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So there is a formula, Euclidean distance formula we are getting, and that formula is given directly here. Root in bracket x minus a bracket square plus y minus b bracket square. Now the new data set that is below, and the old data set, it means training data set, this one. So x value is new value which is given as a sepal length 5.2. Y value is sepal width, new value that is given 3.1, and spaces question mark. So we don't know what is spaces. We will find out based on the previous such data sets how they have given the spaces, right? Then we'll take the first as a sepal length of first row in the 15 data sets, that is 5.3. Even here it is given Staple in 5.3, that is A value, and B value is 3.7. So put the values in the formula. X minus A. X is 5.2, A is 5.3, bracket square, plus Y is 3.1, and B is, who will tell me? How much B value? 3.7. Hope how we have taken, you understood it. So this is X value. This is Y value, because this is a new sample which is given. We don't know spaces. So that's why this act as a X, this act as a Y. From the data sets, this acts as a and this acts as a B. Put the formula, calculate the, based on the formula, the equation, it comes 0.608. So we got the distance for the first row. That is 6.08. Now, this A will act as a X, B will act as a Y. And this one, this A, this 5.1 yellow color, is acts as a and this acts as a B. Put the formula, in the formula these figures, and again calculate the distance. So this is what we are going to do. We erase this. Okay, that is it. We'll go ahead. Visible? Next slide is visible. Reply fast.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can see the distance and ranks.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for the reply. So such a way we calculate distance for all these 15, and those will be written here. Hope you know the formula now. So hope you know the formula, right? So for all these 15, we, based on the formula, we have calculated the distance, and these distances are like this. Somebody do on calculator. 5.2 minus 5.3. Negative square will be positive, na? Plus 3.1 minus 3.7 square. Add that and take the root of that. So I'll do on calculator. Check out. Don't just believe it. I hope that you would have done it. Still, we'll try to show. On my mobile calculator, I'm trying to calculate. So 5.2 minus 5.3. It is minus 0.1 multiplied by take 0.1 multiplied by 0.1. You got square 0.001, right? Then 3.1 minus 3.7, 0.06. Point 0.036, right? 0.036 plus 0.01, 0.37, square root of. Yes, square root of 0.37 is coming 0.608276253. You got it? Such a way we have calculated distance. Now we are shifting. To find first value, we have taken X and Y of new values. which we don't know as a new set. And then for next, we have taken previous one as a new one and next one as a old one, like A and B. All these distances we have calculated. We got this. So distance, can you see now? So this distance is 608.7072, 2.002, 0.36, 0.22, 0.82, 2.22, 0.94. 2.1, 0.89, 0.67, 1.36, 0.60, 1.25, 0.75. Once we calculate the distance, we have to find the ranks. And rank, and based on the k value, we can find out the next ranks of each data set. And we can assign which species they are belonging to. If correctly they are belonging, definitely that will be the true one. If they are changing their group from species, from example Setosa to Virginica, then it will be allowed because based on the new concept, their species which was previously assigned as a Setosa is changing to Virginica or versicolor, vice versa. Like that it happens. So how to find the rank? So based on the distance, which is the minimum distance right now, will be the rank 1. And based on that, will go increasing. So can you see 0.22? This is the record. So 0.22 is the lowest value. So that as a rank 1. And from here will go on. Now when k is 1, rank 1. When we increase the k's values, definitely the ranks will be different. For example, if k is 1, then Setosa, only single value we have taken. Right? K, 1. 1 rank is here. It belongs to Setosa, no? This row. Hope the slides and movements you can see. Can you see my laser pointer?
Yes.
Yeah. When k is 2, it means k value we have increased. Rank 2, 1 and 2. Again, both are belonging to Setosa. Can you see now? Here is the rank 2. Now, when k is 5, 1 is Setosa, 2 is Setosa, 3 is also Setosa species. 4, rank 4. Find out where. Yeah, here it is. It is a versicolor. And 5 is a Virginica. So, out of 5, 3 are Setosa. So, new will be also belong to the Setosa. So, this is how we find the nearest neighbor based on the distances. Based on the distances. Such a way we'll find the species and ranks and distances. Okay, this slide is different. Okay. Here it is the end. So truly, as we go on increasing and find based on the ranks, definitely we will get the correct species allocation. Let's see this example by implementation. I'll share a screen, entire screen with you. Here we are. Video help. Okay. Hope screen is visible. I am sharing entire screen. So this is the, okay, let me show you first the data set which we have considered. uses CSC app data local programs Python 3.39. Okay. So we have considered 8 dataset. Hope screen is visible to you. I'm audible. So this is the data set which we have considered. "150 records are there. To understand the example, we have taken 15. Similarly, we do have right now 150 records. We have taken Setosa, Versicolor, Virginica. Okay, only 3. So this is the IRIS dataset, standard dataset, which I will make you available. Now, first is sepal length, sepal width, length and width, and the class. So petal length, petal width, these are the features. So these are the dataset features available. Sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, class. These are the input files which we require. You can take screenshot of this so that the code can be available to you when you are trying on your own. You can take reference of this. Read the dataset. So we are reading this 8 dataset CSV file, which, as I said, where I've located it, you know it, in Python 39. 8 dataset I've shown name. So this is the dataset. I will make available to you for execution. No problem. Don't worry. Already for the experiment dataset also given, right? So this is the fifth one, fifth experiment dataset I will upload, and write-up I need to upload. Third, fourth, and fifth experiment write-up I will upload. That is what is remained. We'll read it. Then training set. We'll take the formula. Before that, we'll print all the data sets. X train, X test, Y train, Y test is equal to train test split, and we are taking size 0.10. So this is the training percentage which we are going to consider, 0.10. Then we'll find out the distance classifier, k neighbor classifier. We're considering that. N neighbor 5, and we'll provide X and Y values. And here for label 1 up to this, we'll check whether the label which I have given is as per the prediction which we have predicted here. So Y, P, or D. Here we have predicted the values of classifier as X test. That is new one. And based on the training data set which we'll learn, we will build this classifier model. We'll test the value, whether prediction value is equal to label. If yes, we'll print it correct. If no, if it is changing, suppose from Setosa to Versicolor, or from Versicolor to Virginica, or from Setosa to Virginica, or from Virginica to Setosa, all this vice versa, then those will be wrong predictions. If the sample which is already Setosa and by learning classifier also predicts correctly that it is belonging to Setosa, then it is correct. If no, it means it is changing and it will print as a wrong. So we'll calculate all these for Y test, all values, and correctly will classify the labels. Once that is done, based on the values, we will calculate the confusion matrix, where we are providing the prediction values and Y test values. Then we'll print the report, classification report, and accuracy of the classifier, which we have built here, k neighbor classifier. Inbuilt available. Just remember, this is the formula for that. So we'll run this test data set already I have shown. So this is a test. There are 150 entries, remember. Already executed. We'll close this one. Okay. Saved. We'll run the module. Hope all entire screen is visible to you. Okay, here we are. So we got sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, Virginica, setosa, versicolor, original label, predicted label. So how many we have find correct? Okay. So all this. So only one wrong. Virginica. The Virginica originally labeled it is Virginica, which has changed, and the correct cluster of it is versicolor, which we have predicted wrong. So based on this, the classifier report, setosa, versicolor, and virginica, accuracy of the model, here it is, 0.94, 0.93. Okay. So accuracy of the classifier is 0.93 because the one which we have predicted Virginica, originally labeled it is, has a versicolor cluster. So we know the accuracy of the classifier which we have printed here. Where it is gone. Okay. So 0.93. Once again we'll run, we'll see what happens. Now it is correct because we learned where we have wrong. So here we have wrong, which we corrected. We identified why it is so. Based on that, again, model is built and we got this. So all correctly classified. So our classifier accuracy is right now 100%. One. Based on that, confusion matrix also built. Previously, this was the confusion matrix. We changed to this now. Okay. So you can take the printout of, screenshot of this. So you can have this code for the reference. You can take the different data sets also. Just you need to do some correction. So names as per the data set which you are changing, change those. We give the data set name, upload it, load for reading. Other things are not will change much. This split which we are taking test size as a 10%, 90% for a training. So we can take we can increase this 20 or 30 also, 70 30, 70 learning, 30 testing. We'll see what happens. Okay. So we have increased training and testing set now. Previously we have taken only 10% testing. So how many wrongs we have corrected? Only one wrong. So accuracy is 98 because the number of percentage increase, na? Data sets are increased. Test size we have taken 30%, 70% for learning. We'll make this 4. You can do these experimentations and you can take these values and you can take these values and draw the figure, a graph. So that will be your results. 92 now. As we decrease the training set, definitely accuracy is decreasing. If we increase the training set, it means by considering test size, lesser, the accuracy will be increasing higher. From 0.92 to 1, because we have taken trace size as a 10%. 10% means suppose there are 100 values, 90 values will be considered for tracking training. So based on that, we'll build the classifier, and 10 records will be tested. Right? Somebody may be asked that why, sir, now these only 15 are coming, because out of 150, 10% we have taken. Out of 150 records, 150 data set is there, no? Here we have shown 150 records. 10% of 150, how much? Hope you are listening. 15.
15.
1, yes, 15, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right? So if I change this percentage, definitely the number of records which we are predicting will be also increasing. 20% of 150. 20%. We'll see how much it shows. It should be greater than 15 records.
40.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. Hope my math is wrong, correct. I'm weak in math. Right? So there are 30 records. Hope you understood now. Now, again and again, if we execute now, our classifier which we are building based on the training set will become expert. And that's why its accuracy will going to increase. Right. That happens. If we change the, do the changes in the values also, definitely it is hampering that. Because based on these values we have learned, if value change, the predictions will change. Prediction change, there are chances that clusters will change, and there are chances that some clusters will wrongly classified, and that's why there will be lesser accuracy. So we are learning, testing, learning, testing, learning, testing. Definitely we are going to improve. Classifier is also improving. Okay. So you can take final screenshot. So you can have this. This is the result, and this is the code available. You can take the reference as per your requirement. You can do the changes, no problem. You can do the experimentation by changing the values, test size, training sets. You can see here, right? So that's it from my side. So this is the experiment number 5 which we have done. So we'll go for attendance based on the one, two, three. So I'll open the whiteboard. Maybe my computer is a bit slow. One, two, three. Voice is not okay. I'm going for present. I'll share the screen, I think. Wait. Hope I am sharing already. 1, 2, 3 present. Then 12, 14, 15. 12, 14, 15. 12, 14, 15. Then 17, 21. 17, 21. Okay, let it be. 22, 23, 25, 26. 22, 23, 25, 26. Then 28, 29, 30. 28, 29, 30. Then 31, 2, 3, 31, 32, 33, 36, 37, 39, 36, 37, 39. Then 45, 46, 49, 45, 46, 49. 52, 3, 4, 5, 52, 3, 4, 6, 52, 53, 54, 56, 1, 2, 3, 4, 61, 62, 63, 64, 67, 69, 66, 67, 69, 71. This is the final attendance. Hope this is visible. Okay. So these are the numbers, present numbers for today's session. So this was
Sir, 18 present.
which roll number?
18.
18. Okay. 18. Anybody's missing now? Okay. We'll stop here. Thank you. I will take an extra 3 minutes. Thank you for your patience listening. Hope you will do the experiments. This is the 5th experiment. I will share the data set with you on the Moodle. Thank you. I will leave.